In this series of videos, we're going to take a look at Redis. So what exactly is Redis and why would we want to use it? Well, Redis stands for Remote Dictionary Server, and that probably gives you a bit of a clue as to what it is. It's an in-memory key value data store, and it's often used as a database, a cache, and a message broker. Redis is super quick. You have sub-millisecond response times, and what this means is that you can have millions of requests per second. So it's super fast. Some of the other features of Redis are the versatile data structures that exist within Redis, and we'll see those in the videos that are coming up. Redis is high availability. It can also handle geospatial data. You've also got transactions, on-disk persistence, and you can also have clustering, which makes it really, really simple to build real-time internet scale apps. Let's take a look at some of the pros of Redis. So Redis is an in-memory data store, and this makes it really, really fast. So if you compare it to something like Postgres, where you have to store the data on the disk, which means you have to have a round trip to go fetch the data from the disk and return it, Redis doesn't have to do that. Redis stores it all in memory, which makes it really, really fast. Redis also has a lot of flexible data structures. So you've got strings, which can store text or binary up to 512 megabytes in size. You've got lists, sets, sorted sets, hashes, bitmaps, hyperlog logs. Redis is also simple and really easy to use, as we'll see in the upcoming videos. And what this means is that you can write fewer lines of code in your application. It's really easy to store and access your data, and ultimately your application will become simpler because of how simple Redis is to use. And there's tons of open source libraries out there for Redis for any kind of language that you want to use, such as Java, Node, Ruby, Go. Redis also has high availability and scalability. So in Redis, you can have a primary replica architecture in a single node or clustered architecture. This allows you to build highly available apps, providing consistent performance and reliability. Redis is also really scalable, and it will scale up or down with the demand on your application in a fairly straightforward manner. Redis also has replication and persistence. So with Redis, you can employ a primary replica architecture and support asynchronous replication, where you can replicate your data to multiple Redis servers. And of course, this provides improved read performance, as you can split the requests among multiple Redis servers, and faster recovery if one of them goes down. For persistence, Redis also supports point-in-time backups, i.e. copying all your data to disk. And finally, Redis is extensible. So Redis is open source, and it's supported by the community, which is really awesome, as it means there's no vendor lock-in. In terms of the architecture of Redis, you have the Redis client and the Redis server. In the upcoming videos, we'll be using the Redis client to interact with the Redis server. Because Redis is a very scalable technology, you can have multiple Redis servers on multiple servers interacting with a single client, which allows you to build highly scalable distributed systems with Redis. To install Redis, you can simply go to the redis.io website and download the latest stable version and install it that way, or you can use Docker, which is what I will be using. If you've downloaded and installed Redis locally, you simply run the Redis server command, and that will get everything going for you. If, like me, you're using Docker, it's pretty straightforward. Make sure you've got Docker installed and running. You can then run the docker run-p command with the ports. Go ahead and name the image Redis crash course, and we'll use the latest Redis image. Go ahead and run that command. That will download all the images you need and boot up the Redis server for you. In another terminal window, you can go ahead and run the docker exec-it redis crash course redis-cli command, and that will go ahead and open up the Redis CLI for us. I'll have all these commands in the notes below, so you don't need to worry about memorizing these at all. If at any point you end up closing your Docker image, you can just do docker ps-a and grab the ID of the Redis container, and then you can just do docker start and then the ID of the container, and then again docker exec-it redis crash course space redis-cli, and that will go ahead and get everything up and running again. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. It really helps out the channel.